Yo, 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 yo. We here. Royal and Ratchet podcast. Episode 6.
Episode 6.
We back.
Yes, we are.
Like we never left.
It's only been a week.
Yeah, but it's been a somber week, somber day. This is kind of heartbreaking. You know what I mean? It's another episode that we're doing after someone has passed away. We want to shout out and say rest in peace to Pop Smoke, and our condolences out to his family and his friends and anyone that ever knew him. Sad, man.
Rest in peace, Pop Smoke.
It's crazy, It's like kid had so much potential. He was putting Brooklyn back on the map, putting New York back on the map, and sadly, his life got taken away. So we're just gonna say rest in peace to Pop Smoke. And damn, I don't even know how to go into this.
I think so we had an episode or a topic picked out for tonight, and in wake of the tragedy, we decided to switch it up a little bit.
Yeah, we decided we had a real upbeat. We were spicy last week. And we really wanted to follow it up with something just as spicy and entertaining, but just out of respect and in lieu of what happened to Pop Smoke, we're not even in a good mood, so we figured we would just talk about something concerning what happened. And personally, I feel like what happened to this young man was hate, yo. You know what I mean? People just seeing him being successful and just hating on him and hating his opportunity. So that being said, this week, in this episode, we're going to be focusing on why people hate, and why people are so negative when it comes to dealing with other people and this whole crab in the barrel mentality we have sometimes. So, I know it's not as exciting as the usual topics that we talk about, but I feel like it's something that we need to talk about because, it's affecting us and we see it, and as we grow up and we're involved in it, it's something that we need to address and talk about for a little bit. So why do you think people hate?
There's numbers of reasons why people hate. It's just one of those things. Sometimes it's ignorance. You know what I mean? Lack of knowledge.
Ignorance. Definitely ignorance.
I don't know if the reason why that young man was murdered was if it was a derivative of hate. We don't know what happened, so we can't even say he was targeted for whatever reason. We don't know, you know what I mean? But we just,
I don't know all the details, and I don't think everyone knows the details. The details will unfold over a period of time, but unless he was out murdering somebody else's family, I don't think anyone deserves to go out like that. You know what I'm saying? I think in today's culture, we're kind of numb to this kind of behavior, and that's what makes it sad. Because we're going through it every day, and it's in a couple of days, we're all gonna move on from this, and it's sad because this is our culture now. You know what I'm saying? The whole idea of this people come in, getting some success, and then people snatching it away, or we're just so used to our loved ones or young people or people that we admire just being snatched away. People in general, not even famous people. How many people in the hood that died at a young age based on somebody else just not feeling them or giving them, thinking that they deserve what they have.
And that's why I think I'm so saddened today. I'm not one of those people that be in the shade room comments arguing over superstars or anything like that. Is more so just because he's a black young man and he's somebody's son, he's somebody's brother, somebody's friend. You know what I mean? I keep on saying I don't keep it a secret that I'm a parent. You know what I mean? I'm a parent of a young black man, and this could easily be anyone that we know.
Yeah.
Today, I've heard so many comments, seen so many memes already.
Yeah, insensitive comments
on social media, and it's just
we're numb to it.
I understand that the young man belonged to a gang. It wasn't a secret either. He was very openly
and active
gang member.
Yeah.
So a lot of people would like to say you live by, you know what I mean? It's kind of cause and effect. You know what I mean? You live by a certain life, you end up someday maybe ending by that certain cause or whatever you know what I mean? But this is still a 20-year-old kid.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, too, he was making a transition from that. Because, you see, we come from an environment where, like, a lot of times, you know, you hear the cliche statement of being a product of your environment, right? And that's what you're around. And we were having a conversation earlier about how some people didn't have strong, positive... We didn't have strong, positive role models.
You know better, you do better. And in order for you to know better...
Yeah, you have to be exposed to what makes you do better, right? And a lot of us weren't exposed to that. And a lot of us don't have strong wills or strong personalities, so they're led astray, right? And usually a gang or a group of friends or people doing whatever, people want to fit in, right? Or want to feel accepted. So
people are looking for families or brotherhoods or sisterhoods, you know what I mean? Like something like to fill a void. Like, so it's not necessarily like when people say like, oh, this person was in a gang, that they like that the bandana wearing, shooting crazy like so it's and even family.
Listen, and even if that was the case, honestly, even if that was the case at 20, like, are you not allowed to change? Like, I was reading a post earlier, and it said if Malcolm Little, aka Malcolm X, had died in his 20s, he would have been a pimp. You know what I'm saying? Not the Malcolm X that we know. Or if Maya Angelou had died when she was 20, she would have been a prostitute. So it's like, you know what I mean? These people end up evolving into powerful leaders and people that we believe in. So it's like, let's at least give our people time to evolve, you know what I mean? And not hate on them and take them away so early. Because, like, people have the ability to change. And he was definitely being put in a position where he could change his life and change
and people
around him. Yeah. Absolutely. You know what I mean? I was watching the interview with Angie Martinez, and, you know, she was talking about the music that he played for her and how I could see it that he was trying to make that like music for the ladies, because I guess he kind of recognized that he was becoming like a little sex symbol and the ladies was digging him. So he was changing the focus of the music, not so much about it being, you know, gang banging all the time or just, you know what I mean? He was trying to embrace the whole idea of being a rapper, and I think the word that me and you hate the most is that he had potential.
Yeah, you know we hate that.
Yeah,
word.
I mean, that we have a consensus about that we hate the word potential.
Never do you ever.
And I'm saying, so it's like
somebody based on potential. Bro.
You know what I mean? So it's like, it sucks. You know what I mean? To know that someone that was so young and had so much potential is snatched up, and it's become such a rare occurring statement, and something that we become so numb to that people can put up memes and put up jokes like
a man's life was not taken.
Yeah, like somebody's life wasn't taken, like it wasn't, you know, like he's not gone, and this is hours after someone has died. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So, and then, like, honestly, we can't tell a person, like, we can't tell them what to feel or how to feel. You know, everyone's entitled to their own opinion, but once again, if you know better, you do better, right? But, so if you feel like, you know what I mean? Like,
let me play devil's advocate. And I know people are gonna say, when we put this out, people are gonna have the answers. But what's the difference between a Pop Smoke and a Kobe Bryant? Nothing.
He's a man.
Yeah,
he's a black man. He's a black man. He's a human being.
Nothing is different. The fact that if you
different walks of life, but he wasn't even done with his life.
If you took either one of them and put them out on a late night, them not being who they are, and they with a hoodie on, they get pulled over by the cops, they're getting treated the same way. And I think that's the thing. We kind of like don't equate black lives to mean anything sometimes. It's like we're so numb to our people dying and us being in the state that we are in that we're desensitized.
We are, but then once again, you know better, you do better. You pay it forward, because there's like so many people today with like so all these freaking horrific, disgusting comments about this young man making jokes. Yeah, he made certain music. Yeah, he made certain choices. But at what point do you say, like, you know what, I'm from this neighborhood and I made it out. So are you trying to pay it forward?
Yeah.
You can be a mentor to someone.
Fact.
You could do so many things.
Yeah,
that same energy you taking to make a meme, or you taking her to write, you could write it. You could make a text to somebody's mom and say, "Hey, yo, I want to pick up Jason tomorrow because I seen blah 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 blah."
It's crazy because it's almost like hate is the new love now, right? You know what I mean? I forgot, like a couple days I was in the crib and I was listening to We Are the World, and I'm like, damn, they don't even make no records like this no more, where people are really like embracing love and talking about positivity on a general sense, right? And
society has made us strong as a people, though. Like
But when you go on the internet, like a million people got the wrong thing to say, a joke to make, a little witty comment to say under a negative situation. Like you see people dying, people get hurt on a daily basis on IG or on Facebook and anything, and people have somebody just want to make a joke to get a like, or just make a joke for somebody to respond to it so they could feel like they're witty or they had something to say. And I'm like, yo, people are dying, people are getting hurt. You know what I mean? Like, yo, when are we gonna like grow up in this sense?
Right. So that's the trend, right? So, but it takes people like us, not necessarily, I'm not saying that we're going to be the poster child for this, but I mean like someone, you put your best foot forward and it starts a trend. So if we have the platform right now, that's what I mean. Like as we have a platform for the podcast, yeah, we talk bullshit, we have fun, we kick it, but we're serious too. So in regards to things like that, that's when we start saying things like this. We make positive memes. There's so many trending positive pages and hashtags that I've been seeing so like lately, and it's amazing. So we just got to keep it going.
The thing about it too is that I think one of the things we said earlier in a couple of episodes is that we were learning to unlearn certain behaviors, right? And I'm not trying to, we're not, no way, shape, or form am I trying to be self-righteous, because I've done some really fucked up things in my life, you know what I'm saying? And I've really been through fucked up periods in my life, and I'm grateful to God to be where I'm at right now, to be, you know, in the position that I'm at with my career and my family and my kids and all that stuff. That's definitely a blessing for me. So that's why it even touches home more for me too, because I think about what I was doing when I was 20. I was wilding, right? We had a conversation earlier about what I was doing when I was 17. I was wilding too. So it's like, you know what I mean? When you see someone lose their life at 20 without getting the opportunity to change their trajectory, it's like it's fucked up.
Exactly.
And I think like we are at a stage in our lives where we can affect other people, and I'm glad we have this platform to be able to reach out to someone sometimes. And when people are about to, you know, make negative moves, maybe someone will hear this and be like, you know what, for real, man, like we shouldn't be taking lives for granted. Like when you watch, just because you're on the other side of the lens when someone dies and you're good doesn't mean that someone else is not being affected, and you shouldn't be there cracking jokes.
And then you know what? And the funny thing, and not even the funny, the ironic thing is that most of us that grown up in certain neighborhoods, we know what it is to lose a loved one at a young age. We know what it feels like to have death in amongst us, if it's not in our family but in our community. You know what I mean? So that shit like really hurts my heart, because today you're gonna be laughing, and then tomorrow when Ray die,
yeah,
you gonna want sympathy for that. You know what I mean? You be the first person to be like, free Ray. Knowing damn well Ray guilty as fuck.
Yeah.
So don't expect preferential treatment when it happens to you, because that's somebody's son. That like, I'm sorry, I'm stuck on it, because like you said, I come from a different walk of life as well. And when I was 20 years old, I was a totally different person. And it's so many people from my family to friends or whatever, people in the community that be like, yo, they probably gave up on me at that time. Yeah,
and it's not our place to be giving up on anyone, because I know we all are, and I'm not saying that we haven't made progress, you know what I mean, in supporting each other, but we definitely could make more progress, and we definitely could make more strides, and definitely take the opportunity to be more supportive of each other, and not take the hate route, man. Like sometimes I wonder if fucking hate is innate. Like, is this something that you were born with, or because I remember I was listening to the Championship album, Meek Mills, and he said, how can you wake up in the morning feeling evil? Like, how do you go to bed and wake up feeling evil?
I mean, and I'm gonna play devil's advocate, because like, I don't believe in hate. I don't even hate there's some people in this world I should really hate that I don't hate, because I just don't have it in me.
You don't have it in you, but I'm telling you, there's motherfuckers that do.
What I'm saying is that I don't know if it's innate, because you just said it. Like, I wonder if it's something that you're born with. I don't think that's a natural born. Wait, let me say it. I don't think that it's a naturally like a born thing in you. I think some people grow up in environments, and a lot of times like people who lack certain things, or who are like for instance, if there's someone who's poor and they get bullied all the time and picked on for the clothing that they wear, or the way that they smell, or the way that they dress, like whatever, and then they constantly and it's a progress. I don't think I think hate builds, and it's after certain like instances, know, man. And it builds. I don't think anyone is born with hatred.
You know why sometimes I want to agree with you, but I tend to disagree with you. It's like, I've been in so many circumstances where you see someone progressing, and someone that you know that is doing the right thing, and you might look at it and be motivated, right? And then someone else with another crooked point of view just looks at it and just feel like that person don't deserve, based on them not having, the other person doesn't deserve it.
I don't think that's hate.
That is hate. That's absolutely hate.
Well, no, I don't think it derives from hate. I think it fucking derives from a personality issue. Like maybe your pride
maybe
in
you
your
got a
ego,
hate-ass fucking personality.
Your pride in your ego may feel like you deserve, like, you know what I mean? You don't know what's going on with the person. You know what? And then to really answer your question, have you ever seen two babies interact?
Yeah.
You have a small child, right?
Yeah.
Is he not in like daycare or whatever with other children? Do you not see them all get along?
Yeah.
Okay, so hatred is not something that you're born with. That's something that you learn from time. Either it's from your own incidents or your families or whoever you're surrounded by, whatever TV you watch, whatever music you listen to. That all those things influence, and then I think it grows. Because I don't think anyone would ever just be born like I want to kill a motherfucker.
But picture this, and I'll give you a weird scenario, right? And I'll tell you whether it's innate or not. Put those two same babies in a crib together and put one bottle in there. And I know my son.
It's called hunger.
Right? Yeah, but my son will probably drink half and pass the other half to another kid, and another kid will drink the whole thing and not pass another. Some of these things are innate. But
that's not hate.
It's not necessarily that it's hate. It's survival.
You're saying that your son would share based on what? Because he was born like that, or because you taught him?
Because he was born like that. I'm telling you, he was born like that, and that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like sometimes we equate, and especially from the environment that we're at, we equate survival. We equate hating with survival because people feel like, yo, listen, I'm gonna rob Pop Smoke and take his jewelry because that's how I gotta eat. My nigga, that's not how you gotta eat. You don't have to eat like that. You know what I'm saying? You choose to eat like that because you have a defective mentality.
That is a choice, but I would say the person is fucking retarded.
That's a defective
hate.
But it is hate. It is hate because if you see somebody with something and instead of being
envy is a form.
So it's hate. If you see somebody with something and instead of maybe you're not born with it, but if you see somebody with something and instead of being inspired by it and feeling like you can get it on your own, you decide to take it from them, you're a fucking hater. That's what you are, a fucking hater. And I've experienced that on my own. So like this shit is like it reaches out to me because in my own personal life, I'm thinking to myself like I'm a likable guy. I'm social. Yeah, I might have my little funky ways people might not like, but like niggas be hating on me for no fucking reason. And I don't walk around with my shoulders out or my chest out bragging to nobody or flossing on nobody. But niggas will still hate you. Niggas will hate you because you flying on them or because bitches check for you, females check for you, or because you're social with other people and you get opportunities or you make the best of your opportunities. And niggas will envy you for that. And that fucks me up because I'm like, yo, how is it that I'm here with my own personality and you envy me for the way I am? I don't get that. And I don't get that. And that's why I keep to myself. And that's why I have this whole mentality of like just, being low key because you can't trust people, man. And it's crazy being like that. And it hurts me to see this young man come up and in the space of a year make so much progress. And then somebody just comes out of nowhere and feeling like, yo, I'm lurking and I'm setting him up and take away his life. Because that could have been me, and that could have been your son, or could have been somebody that we know. Could have been
anybody that we know.
Yeah,
so
it's foul.
With that being said, I just feel like this is another lesson, and I hate that people use deaths as like a stepping stone or like, as an example. But I just feel like, if you never had that talk with your kid, your nephew, your cousin, or whatever, have to talk with them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because sometimes people don't want to talk to their parents. Because I know I didn't want to talk to my parents. I know my parents, I have Caribbean parents. I don't want to hear them, especially if they want to talk about gang stuff or sex or anything like that. Those are uncomfortable, like, conversations to have with a family member. So if you haven't, like, you know what I mean? Or immediate parent, you know what I mean? So if you want to be the cool auntie, be the cool uncle, be the cool big cousin, talk to them. If you see somebody going left, and you thinking it's a fit? Nah, it ain't a phase. Don't let the phase start.
You know the thing too, though? It's like, we gotta start thinking long term. And I hate to sound like philosophical, because it's like, it's times when I be like, yo, we be exchanging those positive messages between each other, and you're like, yo, shut the fuck up.
Yo, I'll be like, real, shut the fuck up.
But
yo, not today.
Yeah, but it's necessary. You know what too? It is easier to hate. It's easier to say, to push it off. Know what I mean? So,
but not for everyone, because I can't. It's easier for me. I'd rather suppress or just let it go dent to hate. I cannot. I can't.
But what I'm saying is like to take on the negative is easier.
No,
right?
to take on the negative, to really.
To follow the crowd is easy.
That's...
If everybody's doing the wrong thing, it's easy. You have an excuse. You know what I mean? Everybody else is doing. What's hard is actually doing the right thing.
Stepping out of the box.
And looking long term and not doing what everybody else is doing at this moment, right? Because actually when we do shit like this, or when we don't support each other, or when we snuff each other's lives out, we hating on ourselves, and we hating on our own progress.
And that's the messed up thing, because let's talk about it as far as like black and brown
shit, I'm scared. Black
and brown kids, like, we had to fight for all the rights that we've been given, and
we still at a disadvantage.
Talk about, exactly, that's what I was about to say. So if you really want to talk about the rights that we were given,
it's crazy. Given is a proper term, because like at the end of the day, it's like that's how it feels. Like someone gave us our rights. We had to still be fighting.
Since the beginning of time, we were treated like animals.
So
you understand?
Right?
We didn't have rights. Even when we were given our quote unquote freedom, we weren't given our freedom. Look it up, the 13th Amendment. And
it's sad, because we are sometimes our own worst enemy, right? Because instead of like really lifting each other up, and we, some of us talk it, but instead of really lifting each other up and putting ourselves in the position that we need to be, we you look at the Gayle King interview with about Kobe.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? And how everybody was up in a roar about that and uproar about that. And that's what I'm trying to say. It's those instances where people are in a position to help.
Oh, I thought you were. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't understand you. That's why I was like, well, I mean, like,
what?
Are you in favor of Gayle King's
interview?
No. Oh, that's what I was. I thought. That's what I felt you were going there.
Nah.
So that's why I was like, well, I mean, because there's no reason. That's like say this now, boom, you're whatever age you are, and then and somebody will come interview like, so when you were 17, like, fuck out of here.
Look
17.
where I'm at now.
Yo, go ask your father where he was at 17. I bet you gonna find out his ass was doing some wild, crazy shit. So don't do that shit. I hate that when they do bring up a person of color, and then they want to bring up their colorful background, especially one that he wasn't even convicted of.
Yeah, facts. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm trying to say. But
follow the masses.
It be us.
Damn, I was in my bag for a little while. Now I'm back.
It be us that be getting our own way. You know what I'm saying? But that with the angles that we take on things, and it's, I feel like, I don't know. Personally, I feel like it's, I support every black person and every black enterprise. As long as you're doing the right thing, I'm with you, right? But it's so hard sometimes to find people that have that mind frame, because they don't look at it like, supporting. Sometimes they feel like supporting us is stopping them, and that's not how it works. Like, if you support me, you're not stopping. I'm not stopping you from doing anything, right? By you showing me love, I'm not getting in your way. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be that way. Jay talk about not knocking the hustle. I'm not in your way. Just because you're showing me love don't mean you can't get love. Don't mean you can't be a success. So we gotta get that out the way, man. We gotta know how to start supporting each other instead of fucking hating all the time. If my man got some jewelry on, you could get jewelry too, bro. You don't gotta steal it from him or take it from him or snuff his life out because he got it. Because at the end of the day, taking somebody else's life, there's nothing could equate to that. I'm gonna
interject here, because it's like, when you talk about, you don't gotta, true, robbery, that is a crime. Robbery is a crime. But to the stick-up kids, you don't gotta kill the nigga. Like no, and then I'm just making a joke. I know it might be too soon, but I'm just saying, like, honestly, things is always gonna be happening. Like, people are always gonna be hungry. People don't do things out of hate sometimes. Sometimes niggas see that shit and they see, like, food for their kids, and I know they can get a job. They can get money elsewhere. But robberies is gonna happen. They've been happening since the beginning of the time. As far as the murder shit,
the nigga find
over material items, nah.
Listen, I know that's
some real fuckboy pussy shit.
If I know it's gonna happen, right? I'm not saying it's not gonna happen. Like, I'm not unrealistic in saying it's not gonna happen. But at the same time, if it's gonna happen, nigga, find the right nigga to rob, bro. You know what I'm saying? Don't listen. Go somewhere else and find somebody that's been having years and years of wealth. Don't take it from the dude that's just on the upstart, or take it from our own. That's stupid. You know what I'm saying?
Toxic.
Yeah, it's very toxic.
You're telling them.
No.
Listen. Years and years of wealth.
Yeah, go get it from them.
No,
if you had to rob somebody that robbed somebody.
Yeah, facts.
I'm gonna repeat what Shad said. If you gonna rob somebody, rob them stick-up niggas. Y'all rob each other.
I agree. But listen, what I'm trying to get at is, don't take from the dude that's trying, man. Like, he's really trying. Like, he's really trying to build himself up. He's trying to change his life.
But you really think that they take the time to really analyze it?
They know. They
ain't analyzing your mind.
They don't care about
your mind.
Listen.
Niggas say, yo, that chain right there.
Niggas do. They know your story.
But they don't care.
They know where you coming from.
But they don't care.
They know it, though.
They don't care.
They know it.
They don't care.
You know what I'm saying? They know your background. They know you.
Put more jobs in the hood. Hire some felons. You know what I mean? It's a lot. Because I could play devil advocate, like, all the time. Because I'm never going to be like, yo, why he sell drugs. Like, it's reasons for everything. And it's a fucking circle of life. You know what I mean? So certain things is always going to happen. Always going to happen. Always. But then when you think about things like this, yo, if a brother come, if he... you already know how niggas get locked up every day, all day for the pettiest fucking crimes. You know what I mean? Just because of the color of their skin. Black and brown people get locked up for the wrong shit all the time. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then that man get one strike, he get a felony, he come home. Where's he working?
Yeah, I agree.
Where's he working?
So with all that,
they can't even go to school anymore in some states.
With all that being an obstacle to where we're at, the last thing we need is us getting in the way of us. You know what I'm saying? And with the mentality of, you know what I mean, it's the crab in the barrel mentality, or us not helping each other. Because at the end of the day, we know the adversity that we face every day. So when we gun each other down, or we try to, like, it's stupid.
See, with black men is different, because I feel like people of color, or black or brown women of color, we reach out to each other more, and we're able to ask each other for help. When we network and do certain things, I think it's harder for a black male to seek help or even take help from another person. You know what I mean? So it's like kind of hard. How do you approach a person, especially if an older, like, I want to talk about teenagers, because it's easier to approach a child, right? But once they're in black men or brown men in their teens, until like adulthood, it's really hard to approach them. So how do you?
Because it's been years, like, the prisons and institutions, penal institutions, are filled with black men, right? 85% of the prisons are black men, black and brown people, right? So the stigma of not having positive role models is, no matter how much, and I'm not saying that we're not making some kind of positive step in the right direction, because with the internet and even just we change the culture, like, you know, there's positive steps being made for certain things, but that shit's not gonna just change like that, because if your pops and your pops was in jail in the 80s, the 90s, you know what I mean? That's why you have these kids some nowadays that they have no conscience, because it's like, so no one was there to show them the right way.
So you know better, you do better, but how do you get the message across? Like, how to them? Because like I said, I think that it's definitely easier to get the message across to black and brown women or children or whatever, because like like women, you have like a sisterhood. You know what I mean? Like
I mean, black and brown women right now are the most educated, you know, demographic in the whole country, which is kudos to black and brown women. I support black and brown women across America, across the world. I love black and brown women because they're the backbone to everything that's going on in America and in our society, right? Women are definitely the stronger of the two sexes, right? That's how I look at it. But we're still having this we still have like this self-hate thing going on. You know what I mean? And it and I hear it. You know, a lot of times too, I hear it in this in light skin, dark skin, and
we were conditioned to believe that,
good hair, bad hair, right, that kind of situation.
But why? Where did it come from? Right, like, so, I feel like a lot of people don't even know where it comes from.
Even if we don't know where it would come from, we should get to a point where we know that that's stupid.
But how would you know? I don't think that you would think it's stupid, because some people would think it's a preference. Like, some people would say, like, I prefer to have a light skinned chick with curly hair over a dark skinned chick. You know what I mean?
But that's fine.
Whatever. So at some point you think it's a preference, but if it's like your whole thing, and then.
But if I'm talking about, does that create so if you like a light skinned chick with curly hair,
right,
does that mean that a dark skinned chick with kinky hair isn't as good?
No. So this is what I was gonna say. it depends on where it derives from. Like, if your total outlook against, like, the other person that you claim you're not attracted to, then of course, like, it's something wrong. But it derives from somewhere. So we know where it derives from. But I think, like, it's up to us to freaking school these younger kids, because a lot of people think of slavery as a thing that happened a zillion years ago. You know what I mean? They think of, like, the emancipation, something that happened. It was 65 years ago.
I give you a funny thing. My grandmother is Jamaican. My grandmother is in her 80s, and my grandmother's mother was a slave. So, if you want to, do the math on that, you know what I mean? That's within 2 generations, right?
Yeah.
That my grandmother is in her 80s, and her mother was a slave at one point, right? Because Jamaica got independence in 1962. So, before that, everybody was under either indentured labor or slave labor. So it's not that far ago. You know what I mean? Your grandfather or your grandfather, your great grandfather used to be in a place where he couldn't drink from the same fountain and sit in the same chair with a white dude. So it's not that far ago. So that's why we still have that mentality to an extent, because it's survival. But sometimes it's not just survival. It's self-hate, and we gotta try to fix that as much as possible. Where
the self-hate that we've been conditioned to.
Yeah, but how long are we gonna?
Like, even when you touched on that just now, like, I wanted to, like, kind of, like, dig a little deeper further than slavery. Even after we got our emancipation, you did mention something about indentured servants, or whatever,
of course,
which was another form of slavery.
Yeah, and then is. And
prison became another form of slavery. They still slavery. There's people that be working cents on the dollar every day when they go away, or whatever the case may be, and that's fucking crazy. So that they set us against each other, even with that light skin, dark skin shit. You know what I mean? Like, certain people were mixed and they got to stay in the house. Some people had to stay in the field. Some people got the and it works even in corporate society. A lot of times they put the lighter person in the front and the darker person in the back, because they were said to be less attractive. But who the fuck are you to say what's less attractive? Who the fuck are you to say that we are not equal to you or even better? You know what I mean? And, like, and they forced us to go against each other and fight against each other for that job, for that man, for that woman, for whatever, and it's bullshit. We know better now.
I think that's the point that we need to address as much as possible, is the fact that we gotta start with the re-education of our kids and ourselves, because, like, we tend to know that something is wrong, but we don't delve deep enough to try to get the education to change it, or to make the move to make the positive changes. Because, like, we know that something's wrong. Like, we didn't just get fucked up on our own, and just like that, and then now we recognize that we're fucked up. How are we gonna change it? You know what I'm saying? Going back to what I was saying earlier, it's easy to just stay in the same old way and follow the crowd and to stay in a rut. It's hard to go against the grain.
Being with morals and fucking like something about you, period. Because you gotta do it. If you have something about yourself, son, and you really have morals, then you would know. It's not about like how do we, like, you fucking doing something wrong, right? It's not about it being easy to follow people, because following people cannot possibly be easy if you're a person with your own set of morals and your own fucking brain and your own thoughts. You know what I mean?
But you know what it is though? Not for that, Dominique. We can't really think about everybody in the concept of how we are. Because we are dominant personalities. You're a dominant personality. You have your own mindset. I got my own mindset. And it's not really much that anyone can influence me to do if I don't feel like
doing it. Bro, it's so hard for me to follow people.
But it's the same way with you. But we can't think about people in the same context as we think about ourselves. Because most people are sheep. Right? So most people are sheep, and most people are sheeple, and they just want to, like, they don't want to have any opinions, and they just will go with the consensus of what everybody else is saying. So what we kind of have to do is change the consensus to a positive consensus, so that everyone could join in and know that, like, listen, if you're gonna be sheep for the right thing. You know what I'm saying? Don't go on fucking Instagram to clout chase and just be saying witty shit or saying pop smoke got popped and smoke. That's lame. You know what I'm saying? Have your own opinion and know that somebody died and someone just lost their life, and it's not cool to make jokes about shit like that. Even if you for instant gratification. Think long term and think about how you're looking at a black man's life, or how we're looking at each other's lives, and like, for real, this shit that we're saying right now for a little like right now is not worth me giving up my integrity way down the line. Because we had a conversation too about how you told you told a specific group of people that a rapper from Brooklyn died, and they were like, well, they're so used to that. They're so used to us killing ourselves. It's like, all right, so another rapper from Brooklyn died. Yeah, so what? What do you
become the norm? Like, we've always been treated on a different scale.
Yeah.
Period. And whether people want to believe it or not, I know we went from 0 to wherever number you think we've escalated to or whatever. But at the end of the day, I just feel like people have thrown us a bone and we took it, and now we here.
And we got comfortable.
And it's time for us to not be comfortable anymore.
Facts.
And show them who we are, whatever the case may be. So when I said that today, somebody asked me like, yo, who's Pop Smoke? And I said, it's a young man, he was a rapper, he's from Brooklyn, and he was murdered this morning. They said, and it's it ain't a well thing, but that's what they've grown accustomed to, because they looked at us as animals and we're acting as such, and we doing that self-hate shit. That self-hate shit sucks. But with that being said, I just hope that we use this as a platform to let's say you got this is for me.
Yeah.
Like, if you got some beef with your family, you got beef with your homie or whatever, and I'm not even talking about this. Don't use this as an excuse to go back to that fuckboy or somebody you apologize or needed an apology for. No, I mean like real life, like just dumb, stupid, idiotic, fucking grudges with or whatever. Go call them up, love them, say what you got to say.
Nah, I agree. And listen. You can.
Life is short.
And I'm not saying that we all gotta be kumbaya and hold hands all the same time.
This ain't the we all the world shit.
But at the same time, we gotta know, like, listen, there's times to be supportive, and there's times to just let things be, right? But that when we start going left and start putting down the other person or stepping on somebody else to get where we need to go, or being negative to each other, that shit is whack. You know what I mean? That shit is straight up whack. I feel like we should know better by now, and we should be doing better by now. Especially if you're in our age group, our age bracket. When you're in your teens and your 20s, you're making mistakes and you're learning. But when you get to a certain age, you in your 30s and you about to transition into your 40s and all that shit, and you still can't show love to another black person, or you not grown enough to accept when you're wrong, or you still getting mad for somebody stepping on your shoes, or some dumb shit like that. It's like we gotta show some levels of maturity.
Here's what I'm gonna suggest, because it sounds like when we keep on talking about this hate, obviously it's something wrong. Yeah. It's mentally, and I know it's like something that's taboo in the black and brown community. Yeah. But I'm gonna push this issue every time I can on whatever episode it is. Get help. You have insurance. There's even people that'll go across like a scale or whatever, according to whatever you make. If you need the therapy, get it. I don't care how taboo it is in our fucking community.
Yo,
get it. You need help. Get the fucking help.
You know it's crazy. And we've gone back and forth with this.
Yeah. And he used to call me pussy too.
Because we're talking about therapy. But I honestly, whatever your form of therapy is, I mean, if you want to go and get official, sit down with someone and talk, and that's the best option.
And that's not talking to your homie who has the same fucking perspective as you.
But I'm talking about, if you're gonna seek professional help, then go ahead. If that's the method that you need to take, then go ahead. In my own personal life, I feel like this podcast has been my therapy for the last couple, for the last 6 episodes, where I've been able to just come here. I'm a vocal person, be able to let out how I feel about particular things and express myself, right? But had I not had this, maybe the option of seeking professional help would be where I would have to go. Because, son, I'm developing anxiety, all kinds of shit going on with me.
Yeah,
and maybe I'm getting old, but at the end of the day, we've been through traumatic situations. And, I mean, we've had traumatic things happen in our lives. We've been through gunshots. And picture this. People that go to war familiar with gunshots and people dying,
and they have PTSD.
And have PTSD. Mm-hmm. And when they come back, the government has so many things, or they come back and they go speak to a psychiatrist or someone like that when they go out into the field and come back, right? Picture me and you coming from Brooklyn and going to Culture Club and going to the Rock and going to fucking Flex in Brooklyn, and gunshots going off, right? At the warehouse, and people getting shot. And Club Rain, people dropping in front of you, and you just go back to work the next day like nothing happened.
Yeah.
That's why we're traumatized now.
Yeah.
Because we've been through so many so many shady
So that's why I
situations.
want to push the therapy thing. Like, I understand, like, okay, some people don't want to go there and they feel like, yo, if your method thus far has not worked, then
try something new, bro.
Try something new.
Yeah, try
and
something
new. And yo, it's so easy. What is the app ZocDoc? You could even type it in ZocDoc for you. Like, it's so easy.
ZocDoc is not sponsoring this episode, by the way.
No, but I'm just saying, like, just to make it easy for you, because some people be like, I wouldn't even know where to look.
Go Google it, man. ZocDoc ain't sponsoring this episode. ZocDoc, you need to sponsor us.
I was just trying to help.
Now, but at the end of the day, I know what you're trying to say, and it's right. Like, if we know that, if you've been hating all this time and you ain't making no progress, maybe you need to try something else. You know what I mean? And that's another thing too. Like, try another option. There's so many options out there these days. Try another option. Don't just stick into the same route of this of negativity and like just dark thought. Now, I mean, move on. Like, try to enhance your positive thinking. Try to move on into. How many times am I gonna turn this phone? Yo, try to change your mind frame. Work on your thought process. Like, try to evolve. And I think that's the thing that happened. I remember on the Stillmatic album, Nas had the song about second childhood. And I think that's what happens with a lot of people. Like, we're grown men are stuck in a second childhood. Like, they're stuck in this pattern of not wanting to grow up.
Right, but at what point you can't force a person to grow up. Trust me, I tried. It's not something that you can just tell somebody to click. The person has to want that. So it's like from being aware of what's going on, you know what I mean? They have to reach that point and say, like, you know what, enough is enough.
So maybe, and I mean, I don't know who needs to hear this or who's going to be listening to this podcast, but maybe you have some self-reflection, sit down for a second and think to yourself, like, damn, where am I in my life right now? Where do I want to be? Where could I be? What can I change? Because we all got things that we need to change.
Most definitely.
And think about it and give yourself a self-analysis, like, what can I change in my life, and how can I go about doing that, and how can I take the steps to do that? Because if we don't do that, we're just going to be doing the same thing like a hamster wheel, running over and over and over and over, and we're going to be hurting ourselves and hurting others around us, and we're not going to be making any progress. And I mean, I'm adamant about growth. Like, as a man, as a human being, you should be constantly growing. If you were doing something, if you're doing the same thing you were doing 10 years ago, something is not right. You know what I'm saying?
We're going to promote love tonight.
And I'm saying, if you selling the same dime bags and same ounces from 10 years ago.
Nah, but if that's how you making your bread, keep on doing it.
Nah, you not making no bread, my nigga. If you keep saying...
He making whatever, because then, like, yo, you want him to start stealing from his girl.
I don't want him to steal.
Right there, so let him make his little money.
Go get a job.
Nah, let him make his little money.
Nah, go get a job.
Let him
do something else.
Leave the man alone.
Switch it up.
He ain't robbing, he ain't killing, he ain't stealing. Leave that man alone. Stop judging.
Make some adjustments.
Stop judging. We're talking about love versus hate. He talking about what you need to do to get your money, bro. If you satisfied with that, go ahead. Don't come on this side right here. Don't holler at me. But, like, no, come on. For real.
Make some adjustments.
We're promoting love tonight.
We are though, and absolutely, we are promoting love. We are promoting positive thoughts. We are promoting, like, encouraging each other. And I mean, I know
uplifting, not what he was just doing just now.
I'm playing, man.
I know we're playing.
But I'm saying, like, we are promoting that, and it's sad that we had to, you know, but the idea of somebody losing their lives had to trigger this thought process. And I know sometimes, even for the podcast, that it might not be the most entertaining topic, because we're talking about, you know, we're not necessarily getting too ratchet.
Especially today, because, like, by the time they hear this, they're going to heard so many people's opinions on this topic. So, you know what I mean? It might be a little tiresome.
But at the end of the day, is, you know what I mean, it's something that we got to talk about. We are royal too. We're not just ratchet, right? And we are kings and queens, and we are positive people, and we all can be positive people.
This is something, once again, that you have to be taught, because, like, when we call each other king and queen, and we say, like, we're kings and queens, a lot of people don't even know why we say that. You know what I mean? Like, you have to know where you come from to know where you're going, and that's a real fact right there. Because a lot of people will do things and they wouldn't even understand why they're doing it. And if you were to understand, like, yo, why am I hating on my brother and my sister, then you will feel bad about it. So it's up to us to educate ourselves. Come on, Adam. It was a point where I used to buy books, and I used to have to go to Barnes and Nobles and go to Strands and try to buy, like, the cheaper version or whatever. Yes, Strand. And anyways, the fact that I was trying to get to, or the point that I was trying to get to, is that now knowledge is at our fingertips. It's on the internet. We have Amazon Prime. You know what I mean? Like, so if you ever want to know about something, you just type in whatever topic it is, and you can learn.
Yeah, and that's a fact.
You don't have to go to the library.
Let me tell you
anymore.
something too, and you know, kind of going back to what the whole Royal and Ratchet thing. The whole idea of Royal and Ratchet is because we're creating some kind of balance, right? So we are creating balance with this type of conversations about positivity, and also about the spicy topics that we talk about. But in order for people to progress, and you're going back to books and the knowledge being at your fingertips, you have to have some kind of balance, and you can't spend your day just in the shade room, like literally.
And they got audiobooks.
And there's so many other things to focus on. So create some kind of balance in your life, because if you start swaying in one particular direction all the time, you're gonna become a fanatic or be a maniac, and then that's when you lose track of what's going on in the world. Create some balance. Start growing. Start purposely trying to encourage yourself into the right direction. It's hard, you know what I mean? Because anything good sometimes, it's hard to develop. It's never anything good is never easy. But trust me, it's worth it. It's worth it for yourself. It's worth it for your kids. It's working for your family. We gotta start thinking long term. It's working for your generations down the line, and we'll start putting concepts into our kids and our family about being positive, so that we won't have to wait until somebody dies or wait until something negative happens to start reflecting and thinking about what we could have done better.
Let's change the narrative.
Definitely. Let's just start focusing on encouraging each other. And I know it's easier said than done, but if we start putting it into practice and making it the norm, we could definitely do it. And I hate to sound preachy, but I just want to make sure that we understand that. Like, listen, we are a powerful people. We are powerful people. We have so much influence and so much weight that we carry to influence the world. And I'm talking about us as black people and brown people. We have the influence that could sway the world. And if we really come together, we can do this thing.
So now it's each one teach one. So
facts.
It is what it is. Like we're in control of our destinies.
Yeah.
And
what I mean, so let's get rid of this hate culture.
We know better.
And I mean, let's try to not be so desensitized to negative. No, let's not embrace negativity so much. You know what I mean? Let's try to focus on helping each other and just try to elevate, man. And it sucks that we gotta talk about this after someone passed on. You know what I mean? But like,
it's time to uplift
it's definitely something that we gotta work on and
stop the envy, because like, whatever the other person has that you're looking at and you feel like you need or you want or you yearn for, it's accessible. Clearly.
Yeah, you can get it. If they could get it, you could get it. Yo, son, I'm about to throw the phone in the garbage.
Anyways, on that note.
No, I mean, but honestly, rest in peace to Pop Smoke. I mean, and shout out to everyone that's been supporting us for the last 5, now 6 episodes. We really love you guys. And I mean, keep watching. Please give us a positive feedback. Or give your feedback in general.
No, it's just a feedback, because I done heard a couple and I appreciate you people, because we don't like yes men.
Yeah,
we don't
absolutely.
want anyone to give us false feedback.
We definitely are looking to improve and be the best podcast possible for you guys. And check us out on YouTube. The episodes are up on YouTube. Hit us up on IG at Royal and Ratchet Podcast, and at Hollywood Your Boy, and at Damo_is_different. And thanks for all the love, man. And rest in peace to Pop Smoke. Royal and Ratchet Podcast, episode 6. We out.